Am I the asshole for telling my ex that she chose our kids or our relationship? And it's not my problem. She is lonely now. They are grown up. My ex and I had our first child. We're 26. We met at a bar celebrating our 21st birthday. We literally are the exact same age. She changed. Being a mom became only identity. Our second child, we were 28 compound. She was a mom, not wife, and not even herself. Not the woman I met, fell in love with, married. All she wanted to do was kid stuff. Kid movies, kid tea, kid books, everything. If I wanted to drop kids off, take her to the farmer's market, she would say no. Kids loved the farm market. We had to take, they were 3 and they did not love the farmer's market. If anything, the older one loved the mini donuts. And she couldn't stand to hear the cry, so she let them sleep with us constantly. When I put my foot down, she would start crying about how mean I was. When the kids finally outgrew, she let them come in our room without knock. So sex was interesting. Having a cold little hand grabbed my calf made for at least one very hard thrust. I put a lock on the bedroom door. She took it off. We went for counseling. She went for counseling. Nothing ever changed. She said it would be different when kids were older. It never changed. I left when the kids were 9 and 11. I had planned and paid for a trip for our 15th anniversary. We were going to Thailand like always planned. We were young. She changed the plans. She canceled with her parents watching the kids. We went as a family to Disney World. We had been the year before and the kids loved so much. I lasted another 6 months. Then I left. I pay child support. I pay spousal support. I am their kids all the time. I enjoy my custody time. I go to their extracurriculars days I don't have. I have rooms for them in my house. I met someone new a year later. We got married a year after. We had our first child 2 years after that. She is an excellent stepmom and the kids are polite and friendly. They were grown up and they had a mom, so she is more of a trusted adult. Kids are 16, 14 now and they are sick of mom's attention. They are spending more and more of their time at my house. I love having them over and here they understand what privacy and personal space. My ex is lonely. She devoted her life to her kids and she expected them to be around her forever, I guess. She has dated other men but she refuses to prioritize them anyway over the kids. An example, one guy lasted 6 months. He wanted to take her away for the week. She couldn't because the younger one had a soccer game. It was my weekend. The guy had checked me that I would be attending and not just leaving the kid field. I was. She refused to go and showed up at the game without. That was the last I saw her. She is getting angry and bitter that I left her alone to go start a new family, my child bride. My wife was 30 when I met her and I was 38. I wasn't exactly rubbing the cradle. I told her that she wanted that life, that I gave her every opportunity to be my partner, and she said she'd rather be a mom. She said that wasn't true. I asked her to prove me wrong, to tell me when she put our relationship above the slightest inconvenience to our kids. She couldn't do it. I reminded her that she passed up a weekend with her boyfriend to go to a soccer game. She said it was important. I said that adult relationships are also in. My wife thinks that I was harsh but fair. Our child sleeps through the night in her nursery though. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter to hit below the belt? Relevant background. My 43F daughter Becky, 10, has struggled with leukemia since she was 5 years old, finally nearing remission. We hope as a side effect of the chemo, she lost her hair. She's a bit self-conscious and found a wig to be very uncomfortable. But everyone at her school is quite supportive. She usually wears a baseball hat or beanie. She's never run into any bullying because of this until now. My daughter wanted to go to a YMCA day camp this summer and her doctor cleared her. Of course, I signed her up. Unfortunately, there's a clique of girls there that have been straight up vile. My daughter came home crying the first day because the queen of this clique, we'll call her Jenny, gave her the nickname Lex, as in Lex Luthor. It's comic book week and wouldn't stop when my daughter asked her to. I went to the counselor the next morning and pretty much asked if he said that he talked with Jenny and the clique about it and they will stop. They didn't. It just got worse. They started a game of steal Jenny's hat and keep it away from her. Counselor was some feckless teenage Jew that did fuck all to stop this. My daughter wanted to try and stay in the camp because she was making friends there who actually stood up for her. I decided to arm her with a bit of secret adult information. Jenny is the daughter of a couple going through a nasty public divorce. I told my daughter that next time Jenny harasses her, she should tell Jenny that she is the reason for her parents' divorce and that they both want to get rid of her. Probably not true, but certainly a devastating insult to a tween. This worked quite well. Becky hit Jenny with divorce slam yesterday, and it was super effective. Becky was beaming when I picked her up. Jenny was inconsolable, and the counselor looked like he had just come back from Nam. He asked for a sit down with us and told me I shouldn't encourage my daughter to insult other campers. He said that Jenny was just stressed from the divorce and was misplacing her anger on Becky. I said that my daughter is not going to be a punching bag, and I will continue to teach and encourage her to hit back. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for telling the boyfriend of my husband's AP that she's cheating on him? Advice needed. I 38F found out my husband 40M of 14 years was having an affair with a coworker. I was utterly crushed. We had a really good relationship and I never would have suspected that he was cheating on me. I looked the AP up and she had a boyfriend of 2 years, so she was cheating on him the entire time. Obviously, I felt it was right to tell her boyfriend that she was cheating on him. True. I would have wanted to be told in the same situation. He asked if we could meet once so I could tell him what was going on. I met him and he was absolutely lovely, ridiculously handsome, and funny. It really solidified that cheating had nothing to do with a betrayed partner because I was feeling insecure about it before. He also offered a revenge lay and I obviously declined. We agreed to confront our partners on the same day, roughly same time. Afterwards, I told my husband that I knew he was having an affair. He immediately begged for my forgiveness and said that he was sickened about what he had done. If I gave him another chance, he would spend the rest of my life making it up to me. He said that he was feeling insecure about aging and no longer being the man he once was, to get some of that back and to show off his wealth and power. We talked about it for a long time. I told him that I told AP's boyfriend because unlike some people, I don't believe in hiding things from your partner, and the blood drained out of his face. He said that it was abusive and I should have never told him. The AP contacted him to say that Pat screamed at her for hours and she was afraid and needed my husband to come over. I told him there was no way he was coming over to help AP. We could call the police. After all, he knows her address. He left anyways, saying that he loved me, but AP's blood was on my hands if I said anything. I called the police and told them that I think there is a disturbance at AP's place. My husband came back later and he had a black eye. He claimed AP's boss got violent with him. He maintained that he did the right thing, but the police just told the two of them to leave before they both got arrested for fighting. He said that he couldn't believe I was so heartless because I had read the texts and knew both abusive. When I read the texts, all I saw were lies on lies focused on me because my husband would lie to his coworker about how the marriage was dead and that I cared more about appearance than him, that I was using him for his money. None of which is true. I have a better job than him and a better financial position. I don't believe the AP sob story. I refuse to apologize for telling the book. My husband called me vindictive. He's been telling his side of the family that, and I'm getting iced out until I tell my side of the story, which makes it more 50-50 on whether I did the right thing. Am I the asshole?